Hi, this is a really important unit, and I might have made it more complicated than it needs to be, but there's a couple different activities that you need to do for this. And just as a reminder, this is part of your final exam, and so pay attention to the directions for a final essay question. First of all, let's look at forest products based on U.S. timber production, trade, consumption, and price statistics, 1965. Now, before you're here, I asked you to write down 10 products that you use every day made out of wood. You might be surprised to find that every part of the tree is used and that there's many different things made from trees that you may not have been aware of. So let's start with this. Click on this link and write down, please, for me, 5 products that you're completely shocked are made from trees. All right, I'll give you a minute to do that right now. It's not a quiz question, it's just a follow-up to question number 1. Just click on the yellow and it should open right up. It's a pretty extensive list. So hopefully I can surprise you with some of the uses of trees. The historical output from 66 to 80, over half of the lumber was from the West, primarily from old growth timber on federal land. Large areas of federal timber producing lands were removed from production in the 80s and early 90s, partly because of the environmental movement. And by 1990, the South became the leading lumber producing region. Regional output. So the South leads the U.S. in lumber output, 22.8 billion board feet. The West is second at 20. The North is 8.9 billion board feet. And West and South are fairly equal in softwoods. For pulpwood, U.S. paper companies have had poor financial returns for a decade. Actually, one of the pulpwood mills in Wisconsin had moved down to the Carolinas and the East Coast, and other pulpwood companies are following that lead, I think for cheaper labor. And so the South is producing most of the pulpwood. That's all paper products. For imports, Canada is the leading importer to the U.S., 85% of the imports and 83% of all Canadian lumber. Asia is the largest importer of hardwood plywood imports. For exports, lumber exports peaked in 1988 at 4.6 billion board foot, and Canada is the leading market for exports, 28%, followed by the European Union. So for the future, continued growth in the demand for forest products is expected. U.S. national forest timber volumes continue to decline. 2005, the U.S. Forest Service timber volume constituted less than 2% of the total U.S. timber harvest. New hybrid products such as composites compete directly with traditional wood products. And recycling. Paper and paper board recovered is 52%. So now what I'd like you to do is read an article on wood as a global resource, materials in the environment. And then these 4 questions will be part of your quiz. It is also your essay question and your final exam. So please print it and read the whole article. Come to me if you'd like a copy and I can print it for you. All right, now we're going to go to the quiz tool.